In a previous video, I shared with you the image of a strange anomaly which was seemingly attempting to hide behind a rocky outcrop within the desolate and isolated landscape of the continent of Antarctica. Half of an object poking out from behind a rock, which, although as mentioned, was seemingly attempting to hide away from the prying eye of Google's satellite cameras, left enough on display for many to recognize it as that of the textbook flying saucer. With one such anomaly able to be written off as just that, an anomalous feature, a one-off, indeed not supportive of the claim of secretive programs going on in this most ideal of places. Programs claimed as developing and testing gravity-defying technology. Yet, what if more were to be found? More images, more possible crashed craft. Images of these objects not in locations which they appear to be hiding, or partly hidden from view, but due to severe Category 1, whether pretty much a daily occurrence left out in the open for all to see. This would not only strengthen one's case in favor of such a secret installment's existence, but could allow one to establish what it is that they are developing down there. Spotted resting within the icy waters of Hummock Island, yet another flying saucer can be seen, crashed within the icy tundra of Antarctica. Measuring some 60 feet across, Graham over at Conspiracy Depot believes that the image displays that of a strange triangular object, yet I would tend to disagree, opting instead to suggest that it is yet another textbook flying saucer with the previous find, made around the same time supportive of this hypothesis, and maybe indication of the types of objects they are developing. Ever since that most suspicious of operations, known as Operation High Jump, a military mission into the South Pole, which was led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, strange and incredible claims have repeatedly surfaced surrounding Antarctica, with Admiral Byrd claimed to have commanded a battle with flying saucers, which, at the time, were known as Foo Fighters, a battle testified by many as having taken place, an encounter which, according to them, cost many sailors their lives, yet covered up and denied as having ever occurred. Admiral Byrd would also go on to mainstream television, where he would make his infamous claim of enormous landmasses completely free from ice and full of natural resources, which he stated were somehow located just beyond this icy barrier.
Beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
A claim which nobody in any official capacity has been willing to substantiate or even debunk. Instead, it has just been ignored by the powers that be for some unknown reason, never to be confirmed nor denied. Graham himself hypothesizing that, due to it being found on the outskirts of the continent, the craft, or rather the Foo Fighter, left over from the battle which occurred during Operation High Jump. It is also worth noting that the encounter the only aspect of Richard Byrd's claims regarding the voyage ever officially denied. Could this indeed be the remains of a Foo Fighter? Secretly developed technology harnessed in a base hidden deep beneath the ice? Was Operation High Jump's true objective to find and destroy this hidden base? Perhaps technologies stolen or hijacked during the Second World War. Technology which originated or possibly found during the war efforts, yet stolen and developed by a rogue party. Technology so dangerous, so groundbreaking, that if in the wrong hands, along with no agency ever being able to admit to its existence, could and may be being used to hold the entire world hostage. What do you think about these mysterious objects? Supportive evidence for the existence of such technologies secretly being developed? Or are they merely natural formations? I find the possibilities highly compelling. On the 19th of October in 2017, Robert Warwick, an astronomer based at the Pan-STARRS telescope at Haleakala Observatory, Hawaii, would make possibly one of the most important astronomical discoveries of the century, perhaps even the millennia. He would be the first individual on Earth to ever set eyes upon the only known interstellar traveler to have entered our solar system. Robert would be simply astonished to find that not only had we missed our only known opportunity to get a close look at the object, but that it had indeed traveled from far within deep space. It had come from a star far from our own. The astronomer in complete shock once he had established that just like that of our own interstellar crafts, namely the Voyager space probes for example, this object had made a direct path between the blue marble and our sun, then by using the gravitational forces given off by our own giver of life, slingshot, back into deep space. As mentioned this, all bittersweet as the calculations would reveal, Robert had missed the flyby by 40 days. Missing our chance to produce high-resolution images along with scans of the possible craft, allowing for methods of investigation to establish if indeed a mere space rock or something of intelligent design and intent. It now seemed for all the world that we may never fully establish what Oumuamua actually was. That is perhaps until now. Could those who sent it be somehow aware we missed it, missing an opportunity to study the object and even possibly make contact with? Because Oumuamua, it may be coming back. Over the past week of July 2025, it has been officially announced that another, or indeed possibly the same interstellar object, is making another run across planets. Spotted by NASA, the interstellar visitor is again on a flat trajectory into the solar system. However, this time it is traveling at such great speed, instead of slingshotting around the sun, it is believed it will simply zoom past back off into space. Could it indeed be Oumuamua, yet due to its slingshot return, now traveling at a ludicrous speed? News of the extrasolar entity, initially dubbed A11PL3Z, broke on Tuesday, July 1st, when NASA and the International Astronomical Union, IAU, both listed it as a confirmed object. Now, first noticed in data collected between June 25th and June 29th by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS, with multiple other telescopes from across the world having now subsequently confirmed its existence. The object is now traveling toward the Sun at around 152,000 miles per hour, with the date of its closest point to the Earth now believed to be around the 30th of October. It must be noted that the interest surrounding Oumuamua was widespread, with the findings regarding the mysterious object openly shared. That is, until a few weeks into the investigation into its possible origins developed. Subsequently, Oumuamua passionately denied as having any unusual or extraterrestrial characteristics whatsoever. Yet missions were pitched and seriously considered by a number of space agencies, who for some reason then suddenly wanted to catch up with it. One must wonder, why if merely a cigar-shaped space rock would one be willing to go to such trouble to catch it as it hurtled back off into deep space? Yet, could the object A11PL3Z be one and the same? Which again, due to its unusual seemingly deliberate flat trajectory, again dropping clues that it could be our previous visitor. In my previous investigation, I documented the strange goings-on, indeed the suspiciously stifled coverage that was being released at the time regarding the object. I'll add some at the end of this feature. Now that we have spotted it well before it passes by, we may get a closer look at these interstellar visitors. And with so many amateur yet highly capable observatories dotted worldwide, which will undoubtedly track it too, the truth regarding their origins and indeed possible intent may just be a matter of time before finally revealed. It is an object, or indeed objects, which I find highly compelling.
Last month, a milestone was reached regarding astronomical observation. For the first time in known human history, we have successfully spotted and identified an object which has traveled to our solar system from interstellar space. However, this object is of a most peculiar shape, and additionally, it displays some rather particular characteristics. A cigar-shaped object, which is about 1,200 feet in length, it is such a strange object. In fact, SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Project, has officially declared that they are planning on using their enormous satellites to scan the object to see if it is a, quote, alien probe. Scientists initially thought it was a comet, but it was later reclassified as a possible alien probe and named Oumuamua. Researchers from the SETI project's wing, Breakthrough Listen, are planning on listening in on the asteroid in the very near future using their Green Bank radio telescope in West Virginia. A statement from the team read as follows. Researchers working on a long-distance space transportation have previously suggested that the cigar or needle shape is the most likely of architectural design for interstellar spacecraft, since this would minimize friction and damage from interstellar gas and dust. On the 19th of October 2017, the Pan-STARRS-1 telescope in Hawaii picked up a faint point of light. Scientists soon realized that its orbit shows that it had come from interstellar space, now believing that it has been traveling through space for millions of years. Astronomers suggest that Oumuamua is dense, constructed with a high metal content, lacking any significant amounts of water or ice, and its surface is now dark and reddened due to the effects of radiation from cosmic rays. Could we really be on the brink of actually discovering an alien probe? A probe millions of years old and possibly far more advanced than we are now? The implications are clearly profound. We have in the past covered the intriguing anomaly which was spotted upon an asteroid known as Itokawa. The asteroid conveniently chosen as the target for the first ever satellite mission since its launch on the 9th of March 2003, the probe explorer Hayabusa has completed several interplanetary flybys, traveling a total of 2 billion kilometers to arrive at the asteroid known as Itokawa. It seems during this particular asteroid's enormous orbital journey around the cosmos, it has picked up an unusual passenger. Clearly no normal space debris, this mysterious object, now perched or quite possibly impaled upon the front of the rock, looks for all the world like an artificial, alien satellite. Although SETI has not yet investigated Itokawa, we will keep you posted on their investigation of our cigar-shaped interstellar visitor.
Many people assume that ancient astronaut theories are nothing more than modern pseudoscience, holding no credence within reality. However, this is a mistake. The idea of ancient visitors from other planets in distant galaxies has been around since the beginning of human history. Although the theory has undoubtedly gained tremendous popularity over the past few decades, nearly every ancient tribe and civilization found on Earth, regardless of geographical location, have a story regarding visitors from other planets. Our choice of the most compelling would have to be that of the Dogons in Africa, one of the oldest surviving tribes on Earth. They not only have a legend which tells of alien visitors, but they retained invaluable data, reliable knowledge which was passed down from generation to generation. Details surrounding their ancient visitors' home solar system, details that at the time modern civilization had yet to discover. Known as the Nommo, the Dogon tell of giant reptilians who had traveled here from a small sister star of Sirius, a star with a 40-year orbit that the Dogon still celebrate every 40 years. What is remarkable about their claims, however, is the details they give regarding the Sirius system and indeed the Nommo's home star, a tiny star which our modern telescopes did not confirm the existence of until several years after the first cataloguing of this information. Another strange reaction to these remarkable experiences within these ancient cultures is a wanting to replicate the appearance of these entities. These interplanetary visitors often brought gifts in the form of knowledge. Due to these revelations, many of our ancestors have perceived these beings as godlike. The teaching of agriculture, the gift of hops, cannabis. The Dogon state that hemp was a gift from the Nommo. Indeed, the dog star is the source of the plant's name. Even strawberries, among many other living things, and ingenious techniques of managing such, have been said throughout antiquity, indeed throughout the world's cultures, to have first arrived here on Earth in the form of gifts from these beings. The Dogu meaning clay figure, could be seen as commemorative creations in memory of such entities visiting our planet in the past. Made during the late Jomon period over 10,000 years ago, made with such tremendous skill and artistic accuracy, you have to wonder if these were not created with the purpose of remembering a detailed image of our guests' appearances, then what else were they created for? Or more specifically, to look like? Interestingly, some of the figures appear to have been deliberately created missing limbs, resting on intricately made crutches. Was this done with a likeness to real beings, possibly battle-scarred from previous more hostile encounters? The Incas, Mayans, Aztecs, Dogons, indeed anywhere you look within antiquity, you will inevitably be confronted with fantastic tales of ancient visitors, even detailed knowledge of things so far out we cannot even confirm if what they say is true. With so many similar legends found all across the world regarding ancient astronauts, it's safe to say the truth is out there.